This evening, 1,400 small business grants valuing $300 million to be distributed countrywide. Ghana Police Force seized several unlicensed firearms over the holidays. 2 teens detained after the uncle of one made a missing firearm report. In the region, U.S. probes unacceptable Southwest Airlines storm cancellations, and internationally, 2022 space discoveries help grasp cosmic history. Welcome to another broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. 2 teenagers are in hot water after one stole his uncle's firearm and the other one hid it. Clarence Griffith, a licensed firearm holder of Aubrey Barker Road, went to the Brimfield police station on Christmas Day and reported missing his firearm. He told police that he suspected his 16-year-old nephew, a student at a secondary school on the east coast of Demerara, stole his firearm along with 6 matching rounds from his home. Police arrested the teenager in Georgetown and questioned him about the missing firearm. The teenager admitted that he stole the weapon and handed it over to another teenager for him to hide it. Based on that information, on December 27th, the police conducted a joint operation with ranks from Regional Divisions 4A and 4C. The ranks went to the home of the 16-year-old student at Betterforwachton and contacted him in the presence of his mother. He was questioned about the firearm and admitted to receiving it from Griffith's nephew. He then took the police to the back of his house and pointed out a spot where he hid the firearm and the 6 matching rounds of ammunition. Both teenagers were arrested pending investigations. In the continued effort to keep the streets clean of unlicensed firearms, ranks of the Ghana Police Force recovered several firearms and a quantity of ammunition along the east coast of Demerara in separate operations in the early hours of Tuesday, December 27th. Police on mobile patrol duty in the vicinity of Melanie on the east coast of Demerara, acting on information received, went to the Melanie Market Road where they made contact with a 26-year-old minor. A search was about to be conducted on his person, but the 26-year-old ran away in an attempt to escape. The ranks gave chase and he was caught, but not before pelting a metal object under a nearby motor car. The police recovered the object, which turned out to be a .32 Taurus revolver with 4 live matching rounds of ammunition. The suspect was told of the allegations, cautioned, and he remained silent. He was arrested and escorted to the Vigilance Police Station along with the firearm and ammunition. Investigations continues into that matter. Police ranks on mobile patrol in the vicinity of Vigilance and the east coast of Demerara, acting on information received, went to the 2J supermarket at Strathspey, East Coast Demerara, where they made contact with a 29-year-old businessman of Bladen Hall. Ranks searched him and 1 black .32 Taurus pistol with 8 matching rounds of ammunition was found in his pants. Also in his left side pants pocket, the ranks found 1 black and silver firearm with 7 matching rounds of ammunition. The businessman was told of the offense committed, cautioned and arrested and escorted to the Vigilance Police Station along with the 2 firearms and ammunition. Also, ranks were on patrol in the vicinity of Vigilance and received information that took them to the Melanie Market Road. On arrival, the ranks saw a male running away. The ranks gave chase and the suspect threw an object on the southern parapet. The 31-year-old minor of Nablakalis was apprehended and a search was carried out on his person, but nothing was found. The suspect was taken back to the area where he threw the object and the police found 1 firearm on the parapet. The suspect was told of the offense committed, cautioned and arrested, and escorted to the Vigilance Police Station along with the firearm. Investigations into those matters are in progress. The Small Business Bureau will be continuing the distribution of its small business grants in the coming week. The agency intends to distribute more than 1,400 small business grants to the entrepreneurs nationwide, valuing some $300 million. Small Business Bureau's Deputy Chief Executive Officer Simon Pollard explained that the team would be returning to several regions to distribute the grants to persons who were not captured in the first batch. He noticed that the Small Business Bureau had seen a significant increase in the number of persons benefiting from its program this year. The agency hopes to expand its current initiative and establish more options for business owners to pursue. Close to 200 small businesses across Region 3 are also expected to receive grants. More than 80 small business owners from Region 10 on Wednesday received grants of $150,000 from the Small Business Bureau to help their businesses. In Region 6, some 130 grants were distributed. Distribution began in Region 4 on Friday with some 300 small business owners set to benefit. Sticking around after the break, presidential guards stopped by Nigerian national promoted and 2 detained in connection to the robbery murder of Shimron Adams.
Last year, we couldn't celebrate Christmas as we wanted to, so for this year, we had everything planned. 100,000 watts of lights, 10 feet tall tree, the best table ever, custom t-shirts, live shows, DJ. And we also had Uncle Mario, who forgot the KFC buckets in the car with the keys inside.
Step back!
This Christmas is to be enjoyed no matter what. Let's savor this Christmas.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December, and you could win one Amazon Echo Show every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon Echo Show every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. 2 women are in custody following the robbery and murder of a businessman, Shimron Adams, who was killed during a daring robbery on Boxing Night at his business location. Adams of McCall Drive, Caneville, East Bank, Demerara, operated a liquor store at Dorban and Chapel Streets in Lodge, Georgetown. Reports said that around 11:30 p.m., Adams closed his business place and 10 minutes later, he opened the shutter for him and his fiancée to leave from the bottom flat. According to the woman, in the blink of an eye, 2 suspects, one armed and one unarmed, entered the building and ordered them to lie on the ground, and they complied. The unarmed suspect took off the businessman's gold band and finger ring and ordered him to get up. She said the suspect then held onto the businessman's shoulder bag and pulled at it, but Adams continued to hold onto the bag to prevent the suspect from taking it. The suspect, armed with the firearm, then discharged a round at Adams, which struck him in the right abdomen. He fell to the ground and remained unconscious until he was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead. Ranks from CID headquarters processed the scene, and one 9mm spent shell and one warhead was discovered. The area was canvassed with CCTV cameras, which captured the suspects entering the business place and leaving on a black and white XR motorcycle. Investigations have led to the arrest of the two women. Reports say that one of the women shared a close relationship with the now dead man. Presidential guard Tilon Pereira, who was stabbed 5 times by a Nigerian national who stormed State House, is promoted to the rank of corporal. On Christmas Eve Day, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, and Commissioner of Police Acting Clifton Hickins visited the injured rank at the hospital bed and promoted him. Pereira was stabbed 5 times on December 15th when a male Nigerian national, identified as Bethel Chinze, showed up at State House demanding to see the president. The man stabbed Pereira before he snatched an officer's gun and opened fire. Corporal Pereira told the president that he is eager to return to work. Don't go away after the break. DR Congo conflict, mixed reactions to foreign forces involvement, and 2022 space discoveries help grasp cosmic history.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our stores, you're welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. However, Maison Francois is more than just chocolate. We serve lunch, dinner, afternoon tea, and even Sunday morning mimosa brunch. Our convenient location at 133 Thomas Street, Kitty, makes it the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. Treat yourself with the taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December, and you could win one Amazon Echo Show every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon Echo Show every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Welcome back. Now we'll take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. There is still a large backlog of passengers waiting for cancelled flights to be rescheduled, Al Jazeera's Patty Kulhan reports.
A familiar scene in airports all across the United States. Long lines for cancelled flights, lost luggage, but more than that, missing memories.
I have there my grandmother's christening dress that I was going to use for my granddaughter that was just born, that we were going to christen her, and I'm afraid that that's going to get lost, and it's priceless. It's a great sentimental.
She's been here every day looking for her luggage. She's not sure when she'll get it or when her granddaughter will be baptized. Everyone in these long lines has a story to tell.
Eventually, I just left the line after being told that we probably wouldn't get a flight to DC until the 28th, and paired up with a family, and we all drove together to DC.
And then I stood in line for about 3 hours, got rebooked for another flight that was supposed to leave out at probably about 9-ish. And they said, okay, and about midnight, that one was canceled.
The severe winter storm saw almost 20,000 flights canceled during the height of the busiest travel season of the year, but most airlines have recovered. Southwest Airlines, a mostly domestic carrier, has canceled the vast majority of them.
It's just the fact that this one started west, swept east, and impacted almost every single one of our largest airports that put us in a position where we struggled to recover.
These lines are not going to get shorter anytime soon. The CEO of Southwest says they're only going to fly about a third of their scheduled flights that could take days. Department of Transportation says it's going to investigate, but the airline's going to have bigger problems than that. Everyone I talked to said they had no intention of flying Southwest Airlines ever again. Patty Colhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Internationally, numerous African countries have deployed troops to counter armed groups and civil unrest in the DRC. But while the Congo government welcomes these forces, many Congolese oppose them. Al Jazeera's Malcolm Webb reports.
Hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced in recent months as the M23 armed group advanced towards the city of Goma in Democratic Republic of Congo. To the north, Ugandan soldiers arrived just over a year ago under an agreement with Congo's government. Uganda's army says it's pursuing a Ugandan armed group called the ADF that's responsible for massacring thousands of civilians. Rights groups say the violence has increased since the Ugandan troops arrived. Both Uganda and Rwanda have been accused of meddling and looting minerals ever since they first invaded Congo in the 1990s.
It's not everyone who has interest in a more stable DRC. There is some non-state actors and perhaps even some state actors who need this to be going on so that they may continue with their traffics.
6 months ago, East African leaders agreed to send a regional stabilization force. Kenyan soldiers are the latest to arrive under that banner. Uganda, Burundi and South Sudan have said they'll also contribute troops.
The risk is there that the different countries that are intervening will pursue their own narrow interests. And many of these countries have in the past, particularly the neighboring countries of Burundi, Rwanda and Uganda, have supported proxy armed groups against each other, but also against the Congolese state.
More than 20 years after their mission began, the popularity of UN peacekeepers is at an all-time low. Many Congolese blame them for failing to protect civilians. Demonstrators have burned some UN convoys and camps in recent months. Many people say they're tired of foreign forces.
Since the beginning, the solution for DRC is to have a state which is responsible, a state that can defend its territory, and a state which can also defend and protect the human rights of their own citizens. So militarization is not the solution. For the last 20 or 30 years in DRC, we have these foreign intervention, and they didn't give the solution. And we can't say that this regional initiative, which is a military initiative, will bear fruits.
The M23 armed group is widely understood to be backed by neighbouring Rwanda. Its fighters have been photographed alongside Rwandan soldiers. UN peacekeepers have filmed hundreds of fighters crossing the border. Rwanda denies backing the group. Almost nobody in Congo believes it. In cities across Congo, people have protested against Rwanda and Uganda, who they blame for decades of military aggression. They've called for Western powers to cut off military aid to Rwanda. The US, and more recently France and Germany, have criticised Rwanda for its support, but none of Rwanda's backers have applied sanctions. Last week, voter registration began for elections that are due to be held a year from now. Leaked documents showed the last election 4 years ago was rigged. President Felix Tshisekedi was announced the winner. He wants to run again. Many people are wondering if next year's election will be free and fair, or if it will even happen on time.
When you look at the documents of the National Electoral Commission, it's already in there as a factor that might delay elections themselves. So they're preparing that argument. Of course, no credible election can take place if there's so much violence that voting can't take place.
The violence shows no sign of stopping. M23 said it pulled out of the town of Kibumba last week following international calls for its fighters to withdraw and disarm. It has since continued fighting on another front, pushing towards coltan mines that it controlled in the past. More than 500,000 people remain displaced from their homes, mostly because of armed conflict. Recent peace talks in Nairobi have failed to bring any change on the ground. For now, people must wait to see if the arrival of more foreign forces in the months ahead and the upcoming election will make things better or worse. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera.
And finally, as 2022 comes to an end, astronomers worldwide are assessing discoveries made in space thanks to the tools like James Webb Space Telescope. Al Jazeera's Colin Barker has more.
In 2022, outer space grew clearer, bigger, and a bit safer for the scientists studying it from Earth. In a year of dramatic discoveries, astronomers captured images of the oldest known star, the furthest known planet orbiting another sun, the black hole at the center of our galaxy, and details from the surface of our own sun. The number of people living in space grew. China now has a permanent home in orbit 24 years after the launch of the International Space Station. But two missions shattered targets. The first, literally, the half-ton DART satellite slammed into a 160-meter-wide asteroid called Dimorphos at 6 kilometers per second. It was a test of an Earth-saving defense system, and it worked. The shimmering debris thrown up by the impact was captured by observatories around our planet. But nothing was as spectacular as the first images from the James Webb Space Telescope.
The edge of time itself.
More than 20 years in the making, 14 years late, the world's largest space-based telescope flew 1.5 million kilometers and looked at a point in the sky smaller than a grain of sand held at arm's length. That grain contained a myriad of stars. Webb's first picture revealed the oldest and furthest objects human eyes have ever seen, ancient galaxies at the visible edge of the universe. Now, these tiny dots of color are helping to fill in the picture of how everything began. The image provoked more questions.
We are looking as far back as currently humanly possible, and that is our goal, is to keep trying to study further and further back so that we can understand better the time in cosmic history that we've only been able to really theorize.
Webb's astronomers spotted water, carbon monoxide, and gases that volcanoes release into atmospheres of planets far beyond our sun. One system orbiting a sun known as TRAPPIST-1 looks tantalizingly similar to our own.
So now we have kind of our first chance at studying another star system that has a bunch of small rocky planets to say, okay, how different are they? What does that mean about their potential for supporting life?
And astronomers used Webb to make discoveries much closer to home.
When I saw the first image of Neptune with James Webb Space Telescope, I actually started to cry. I had been waiting for over 30 years to see this planet again like that. What I saw first and foremost was the ring system of Neptune. The last time we had seen it was in 1989 when the Voyager spacecraft flew over the cloud tops of Neptune.
In 2023, Webb will study hundreds of new targets and probes will reach new asteroids. That's as India aims for a lunar landing and Europe plans a mission to the icy moons of Jupiter. Colin Baker, Al Jazeera.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now to 3 weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. Tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.